Well, howdy, folks. We are in the first week of December here in Iowa, and as you can see in the countryside, we have 40 some degree weather today, and the snow is just melting. Here in my yard, right around the corner of the garage, I get this drift every year as soon as the wind starts blowing up the snow. So the last snow that melts here is this drift on the one side of the garage, but the countryside and here in the yard, it's pretty bare already. And which is fine with me. I don't care if we don't get snow till like the third week of December. But today we're gonna do a video and I'll show you what I do with my equipment when I park it for the year. I like to winterize my stuff. I don't like to park it with gas in it. So I'm just gonna do a quick video with you here and I'll show you what I do. And even though I run total premium gas, I run zero ethanol in my gear, I still feel like the best thing you can do is winterize your equipment, get rid of all the gas in it, and park it without any gas in the carb. So I'm adjusting the tripod for you here. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'll show you how I do it on these two pieces of equipment. The method will be similar on the bigger equipment like zero turn, and I'll explain that to you as I go along as well. So the first one we're going to do is going to be that weed whipper. And being that it's two-cycle gas, I got a separate gas can for that. And we're going to use the pour it out method instead of a pump. And I'll show you that here as we go. So my favorite method is getting the gas can with a funnel. And I'm going to make sure that you can see me here in the video. Now, if you don't have, I guess it would work with any. I was going to say, so I would suggest you winterize your gear like this, no matter what kind of gas you're running in it. Maybe if you're running that true fuel stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if not the additives that they put in that is wrecking the carbs, just like ethanol. I'm not sure. So I wouldn't take any chances. I know that this works for me, and I've been doing this for a long time like this, where I'll just take the gas can, throw a funnel in it, and I'll pour in the gas, and then we'll start her up, and we'll run it until it dies, and then we'll call it good. So that's what I do on the stick equipment and the chainsaws. You put your shoe under here. Put your shoe under here at your own risk, because sometimes you spill when it gets on your shoe. You have to pour out all the gas. So I got it all poured out. There was not that much left in it after we used it the last time. And so, depending on how primed that carburetor is, it might not even start. But we'll see. We'll see. So now that you've poured it out, we're going to crank it and see if we can run it until it dies. So I put the gas cap on nice and tight again. And we'll see. It might not even start because sometimes let's prime it again. We're just going to let it run until it dies. It's still on show. Gonna let it run, show that iron. It's gonna die after a minute or so. We'll try one more. We'll try once more. See, there it died. It won't start again. Press the primer bulb until it no longer runs when you do that. When you know for sure it's dead. Okay. There. So there's no more gas in it. The bulb is empty and it's dying from running. There. So now I'm confident that it's out of gas. So as you can see, if you look on the primer bulb is all empty. Ah, they just found some more. They found some more gas from pumping. I guess from the line in the filter. That's good. I guess you can do it to various degrees, but the lines are basically empty. I don't see the primer bulb has no gas in it. And then I think whatever the primer bulb is picking up, it's passing it through the carburetor into the gas tank, which is fine. As long as you don't let it sit all full of gas. So now it won't start anymore. So now this is done. That's what I do with chainsaws, weed whippers, two-cycle stuff like this. And then you put your... So this is the only piece I have. My chainsaw I did already. So one of my chainsaw, I don't use it all that often, so I don't leave it sit with gas in it. So I've already done the chainsaw and the leaf blower. So that's all I had left is this guy. Now we're done with this. This is two-cycle gas on the funnel. And the weed whipper, we'll put that away. Make sure the gas is all properly, the cap. And let's give her a... If you get any junk on the bottom of it, just give her a wipe down quick. Let's see, I have some water in the corner, I guess. So now, we'll throw her back up on the wall on the hook. I got it. We're done with it. We're done with him. So if you store your gear on the wall, just put it back on the wall. Now we'll go ahead and do this guy. And this guy we're going to do with a pump. I'll show you the gas pump that I use for doing these, and then we'll let it run until it dies. That's what I do with the stuff like this that has a small tank with regular gas. Titty-tum, titty-tum, titty-tum. So yeah, we're done with the two cycles. So we got to do the forcer. Now, the pump makes it really nice, and I'll show you the pump. And I'll also give you some tips about these pumps. So this is one of those pumps that you see, there was a company that came out with these several years ago, and the original company that came out with them, they were like 50 or 70 bucks. And now there's generics on Amazon that are quite a bit cheaper than that. Now here's the trick I learned. I use all rechargeable batteries. Like I use rechargeable batteries in the house for all the stuff the kids use. Now, what I learned from these guys is that if you use these with rechargeable batteries, I think this takes D-size batteries in the handle. You unscrew this cap and then the batteries are in here. Now, what I found with these is, if you use rechargeable batteries, the rechargeable batteries don't have enough oomph to spin this. And I exchanged one twice. I thought it was defective. Because my batteries showed full, the rechargeable batteries that I'm using showed full, and yet this had a hard time running and pumping. So the rechargeable battery's voltage was too low for it to, the rechargeable batteries voltage was too low to spin the pump, and it would not pick up gas from the bottom of the tank. Now I'm going to reposition here. Hang on, sorry about that. I think I moved it too close. I'll put her back. I think it was pretty good back where it was. Yeah. Maybe I nod you back a smidgen here. Give me a second. There we go. And now we'll lower the boom on this. Lowering the boom on it. We'll lower the boom a bit here. And I'll show you how we do this. Sorry about that. Now, when you're doing this kind of equipment, the following method will literally work for all of it. For all of the other equipment that you're going to use, or all the other equipment you're going to winterize, this method will work. Even 0 turns. zero turns, lawn tractors, etc. So this method, I'm looking for my phlegm. So for this method, you need some way to get the gas out. I mean, you can tip the mower over, pour it out into a container, but I find these pumps into the gas tank is better. So we're going to use this pump. This is my preferred method. And then what we're going to use is this, we put this clamp on the handle so that we don't have to hold it by hand. And I'll show you how we do it. Give me a second. So you're going to get the old gas cap off. There's not that much in it. I don't know if it's actually going to pump. There's so little gas in it. I guess the last time we used it, we almost emptied it. So I'm going to show you how this method works. If there's enough gas. I don't know if there'll be. So you put the pump in, set her on the bottom, and then there's a switch up here. You just turn her on. See? Just use good old Duracell or Energizer batteries. And we're going to see if we can tip the mower back and make it pump. There's so little gas in it, it's hard to pump. It is pumping, not much. Not much in it. There's only like a ½ inch of gas in there. But it's pumping. But this is literally my favorite method. Just get yourself one of these pumps, pump her out. And then while it's still pumping, lift her out. While it's still going, lift her out. Turn it upside like that. Hear it screaming? It doesn't like that. It doesn't like that I tipped it up like that. I don't know if it means its seal is going out or what. But that's how these work. These are amazing pumps. And they have a hose storage up here. And so now I can literally see the bottom. So this at the most will run like 5 minutes. So what I do then is you put the lid back on, put your gas can away and your pump, and I'm going to put everything over here, and then I'm going to get this fired up, and we'll let her run until she dies. So I don't know if you've ever messed with the Toro Recycler. It's a really nice machine. We're going to get this fired up. It's going to run for like 3 months. I bet it has a mode since September. There's still gas in the car, bitch. Wow. Ha! Can't believe it. It hasn't run for like 3 months. So I might have to convince it that it hasn't run for that long. I might have to squirt some assistance into the carburetor. The air cleaner is nice and clean. There's just a few blades of grass on it. So we're going to squirt in some assistance. Yeah, here. We're just going to spritz it a bit. Not much. Just spritz it off. We have a mode here since September. And we're already in the first week of December. So it might be the case after it's set that long. So one of these, you can spritz a bit of it in. And I don't do much. It's literally as powerful as starting fluid, and it's just carb cleaner. Just I'm going to pause the video here, and then I'll start it up again when I'll start up the video again when it's done running. But basically, I'm going to let it run until it dies on its own. There's not much gas left in it. I pumped out most of it. I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll be back. So there, it's dying. That means it's got rid of all the gas in the tank, and so the carb is empty, and now this guy is winterized. So why would you want to winterize your stuff? Well, besides the gas growing stale and wrecking the carb, and you already saw how hard it was starting from sitting from September till the first week of December. I couldn't even get it started without an additional spritz of carb cleaner into the carb just to get it started after sitting that long. So Yeah, gas stove steel, it's, if you're using the ethanol gas, it's drawing moisture to itself from sitting open like in a carb and in the gas tank. So now we got the tank clean and empty, and we got the carb empty. And in the spring, when we go to just pour gas in it, it'll fire right up versus dealing with the stale gas. So it's super important that you get rid of the gas in it. And it just makes bringing the equipment out in the spring, it just makes it way nicer for starting and getting going. So what I do when I do the lawn tractors and the zero turn, I do the same thing. I'll suck them out with a pump. I'll suck it back into the can. Now, if you don't want to pump the gas out of, like, let's say you have a riding mower and it's got a couple gallons of gas in it, and you don't want to pump her back in the can like I did, what you can do is, if it has like a fuel shut off, like mine has a fuel shut off, so what I do on the zero turn is I look and see how much gas is in it. If you're tying up say 5 or 6 gallons of gas, I would pump it into that can and then use it in other stuff over the winter. But if it's only just like a gallon or two, what I'm doing on mine here is I shut the gas, the fuel shut off, the tank selector, like back here. See, the tank selector is on off, and run it until it dies. And then the kids have their hockey gear on top of it here. So then what you do is just take a shopping bag and place it across the opening and screw the lid back on. And that works too. So you're sealing the gas cap, and there's no new gas running into the carburetor of the engine. So this is another method of doing it. There's only like a gallon or two in here. So I'm just sealing it, and I ran the engine dry and shut the gas off. So that's another way of doing it. But absolutely a must for storing your gear, and don't let it sit in your carburetor. Either way you lose. The gas gunks up, wrecks your carb, it grows stale, it's hard starting in the spring, and you're saving yourself all kinds of problems by getting rid of the gas in the carburetor over the winter or the off-season. So that's my tip on how I winterize my gear. Hopefully learn something. If you have a comment or a concern, or you have a different method of doing it, share in the comments below. Thanks so much.